The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin. Okay? So right here, the Most High is letting us know that the children can't be put to death for the father. And then the father can't be put to death for the children's sin. So if the children come of age and they start to commit sin, then they're responsible of that sin. Okay? They're the ones that's going to have to acquire to the Most High for repentance, okay, and forgiveness of sins. All right. Verse 17. Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge. Verse 18. But thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and the Most High, thy power, redeemed thee thence. Therefore I command thee to do this thing. All right. Let's go to chapter 32, still in the book of Deuteronomy. And we're going to go down to verse 39. And it reads, See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God, okay, lowercase g. So this is how the Most High think of all of those false idol gods. That's no gods, man. He called them by lowercase g, right? And there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any, okay, which is written in italics, right? So it's pretty much inserted in there, right? So if you was to read it without the italics, it would say, neither that can deliver out of my hand. But being that there's an insertion here with the italics, it says, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. All right. So this is the Most High letting us know, man. This is how you know my judgments, okay? This is how you judge correctly, by knowing I am the one that do what? Verse 39 from the top. Seeing now that I even am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay, so once the Most High got you, he got you. When he's going to cast his judgment upon you for all of the sins that you're committing, no one can deliver you out of the Most High's hand, right? Why? Because the Most High controls all things. He controls all spirits, all right? He's the orchestrator of all things. He's the grand architect, so to speak, right? Let's go to the book of Leviticus, chapter 18. Okay, so in the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Most High, your power. Verse 3, After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. Okay, so this is why our people need to read these scriptures, man. Because just like I said, a lot of our people are off into that Kemet mythology, man. That's going back to the first Egypt. That's going back to your first bondage, man. When you worshiping their gods. You got tattoos of Egyptian unks on your arm and your chest, right? Some even got it on their foreheads and their cheeks, all right? You got the triple pyramid tattooed on you, all right? You got King Tut tattooed on you, all right? Your Nefertiti's, all right? You got all of this stuff tattooed on you, man. You got the witch goddess, Isis, okay? with the two horns coming out of her head, and then you got the sun in the middle of those horns. Okay, so a lot of our people, man, they still into worshiping ancient Egypt, man. All right, but this is what the Most High says for our people, man, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Right, after the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, ye shall not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Okay, so the abominations that they was doing in the land of Canaan, which is the Canaanites, it was worshiping Nimrod, Tammuz. Okay, keeping Easter, which a lot of our people are about to do, which is coming up. Okay, now they're going to do these in the so-called religious churches, right? Now these churches and these different denominations, they supposed to be following Christ. Okay, they're supposed to be believing in the God of the Bible. All right, so why they're keeping Easter in church? Okay, what is it? They're keeping, what's that day? Good Friday. All right, when Hamashiach supposedly was killed, okay, in which it was Thursday. Now, according to our time, a brand new day begins at evening, all right? So, technically, Thursday evening, which is evening tide, the sunset, will technically be the 6th day of the week, okay? But they keep theirs at sunrise on the Friday. They call that Good Friday, okay, according to the oppressor's time, all right, which is after 12 midnight, all right? So, they're going to keep Good Friday, and then they're going to say from Friday to Sunday, which is 3 days in the grave Hamashiach spent, which was in the cave, right? Now, if you do your calculations according to the hours and days, that doesn't equal up to 3 days, man. Okay? So you got a lot of our peoples who are going to keep this ancient Canaanite custom, which is serving Semiramis and Nimrod and Tammuz. Okay, that's what that really is, man. Because Easter is giving commemoration to Semiramis. Now, if you look into the story of Semiramis, she told the ancient people of Babylon that she descended from the moon inside of an egg, and it fell into the river of the Euphrates. And that's what made her divine. Okay, this is the reason why people should worship her and follow her ordinances, follow her commandments, because she's divine and she fell from the moon inside of an egg. Okay, so that's the reason why you have your so-called Easter eggs. Okay, your colorful Easter eggs that people dump all around the place and have their children go search. All right, so you can do the research yourself. As a matter of fact, and if you got the time, I have a video that I've done on that concerning Semiramis, okay, and Nimrod and Easter. All right, so you can check it out the next time you get time, right? Verse 3 again. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein in ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Verse 4. Ye shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances to walk therein. I am the Most High, your power. All right. So the Most High is letting us know that He is the Most High, our power. Meaning, instead of keeping so-called Easter and Good Friday, you're supposed to be preparation for the Passover, man. Okay. You're supposed to be acknowledging the first day of the year, the true New Year's. Okay, which is around April Fool's Day, which is April the 1st. Okay, that's the true New Year, man. That's the true springing forth, okay? When you start to see things coming to life, when you start to see things starting to blossom, okay? Flowers, the leaves on the trees, all right? You start to see the insects starting to come back out, okay? Your little reptiles like your geckos and your lizards and your frogs and stuff, okay? You're gonna hear the crickets at night, okay? So that's the beginning of the new year, man. The beginning of new life, okay? Not in the depth of winter, man. Not during the winter solstice, all right? So our people are following a lot of the ways of the oppressor, man, and of the heathen of the other nations, man. Right? But it says, right, verse 5, ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the most high power. All right. So that's the most high reiterating that there, man. He is the one and only true God, in which our people, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, he's the God that our people need to be serving, man. Right? Let's jump down to verse 9. The nakedness of thy sister and the daughter of thy father or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. Okay, so that's what a lot of our people are doing now, man. Especially according to Semiramis and Nimrod and Tammuz. Now, just like I was saying before, if you study the history of those three, you'll come to find that Nimrod and Semiramis actually was Nimrod's mom. Okay, and then the son that they had, which is Tammuz, is their son. Okay, so not only Tammuz is Nimrod's younger brother, but he's also his son. All right, how twisted and crazy is that, man? But that's the custom of the other nations, man. Those are the descendants of Canaan. All right, or you could say the Hamites, right? Because really, the Canaanites was they was worshiping Nimrod and Tammuz. Okay, but originally Nimrod is of Cush. Okay, let's jump down to verse 10. The nakedness of thy son's daughter's daughter, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thy own nakedness. Okay, just like in the custom of the Cushites and the Canaanites. All right, with Nimrod's son Tammuz and his own mother slash wife. Okay, so this is all that was going on there, man. All right, between those two. Verse 13. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinsman. Okay, verse 14. Do not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. She is thy aunt. Okay, so all of this right here, not only the other nations were doing and still doing to this day, but a lot of our people are into this wickedness too, man. You'll be surprised, right? So this is when the Most High is going to hold you accountable, man, when you're doing stuff like this, right? Verse 17. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are near kinsmen. It is okay. So this is what the Most High calls wickedness, man. Okay, you're not supposed to be uncovering a woman and her daughter. Okay, meaning you're not supposed to be sleeping with the mom and the daughter at the same time, man. All right, you got a lot of brothers within our nation of people who's doing that. Okay, and that's crazy, man. You're not supposed to be doing that, man. All right. If I was a single man, I wouldn't dare try to sleep, even though I can't recall, even when I was in the world, I did have a couple of occasions where that could have been done, right? Where I could have had affairs like that, man. But I'm glad, all thanks and praise to the Most High, he pulled me out of that mindset and that sin. And now I'm a repentant and now I'm aware of the laws. Now I wouldn't dare do something like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But you got a lot of brothers within our nation of people, man, which is the unhopeful elect, the 2/3, man. They still do stuff like that. And then they brag about it on top of that. You know what I'm saying? They actually proud to do stuff like that, man. They actually proud to put situations like that under their belt, man. Right? But this is what the Most High says, man. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinsmen. It is wickedness. All right. Verse 18. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, besides the other in her lifetime. Okay, so you're not even supposed to be sleeping around with your girlfriend's sister, man. Okay, so these are the things that our people are committing, which is sin in the Most High's eyes, and they're not even aware of it. Okay, now some of our people naturally know that's wrong, but they still do it anyway. All right, but that's an abomination and considered wickedness in the Most High's eyes, man, when you're sleeping with two sisters. All right. Verse 19. And thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. Okay, so that sounds like exactly what it sounds like, man. And I'm going to read it again, right, just in case people didn't hear. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, meaning get her naked, unclothe her, right? As long as she is put apart for her what? Uncleanness, all right? So, of course, for the ones who don't understand that, that's when she's going through her so-called monthly cycle, right? At the beginning of the new month, which is the new moon. Okay, so that's another way that you can recognize that it's the new moon. Okay, if you have a girlfriend or a wife and she's going through her cycle, that's how you know it's the new moon. Okay, it's not going to happen during the full moon. Okay, when the moon is bright and shining in the sky and you can see it, it's visible. Now, don't get me wrong, when you use words as such as full, it can be fully bright or it can be fully dark. All right. But the scriptures refer to the new moon as the full moon, which is the dark moon, which is also a definition of hidden. Okay. Meaning you can't see it. It's fully dark. All right. So just to throw that out there, when you use a word like full, it can mean both ways. But also, when you look into the definition of new moon, it means hidden. All right. It's hidden. You can't see it. Right. So this is how you tell it's the new moon. And just like I was saying before, if you have a wife or a girlfriend, you're not supposed to be sleeping with them, man, when they're on their so-called monthly cycle, man. Now that's disgusting. How can you do something like that? How can you sleep around with a woman that's going through her cycle, man? You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, you gotta love it. A lot of brothers within our nation of people, they do stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why I'm making this video, man. Just in case your parents haven't told you and you're of age and you're of the nation of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, man. Just in case your mom and your dad is not aware of this law, man. Now, this is in the Bible, man, okay, which is in book of Leviticus chapter 18, all right, verse 19. This will let you know that you're not supposed to be sleeping around with women that's going through their monthly cycle, man. All right. Continuation. Verse 20 in the book of Leviticus chapter 18. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her. Okay, so another sin that's going on within our nation of people, man, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. They have a habit of sleeping with their own neighbor's wife, man. Now, in this sense right here, when it says neighbor, it can be used interchangeably with your literal neighbor or a brother or a sister within your nation of people, man. So this goes for the women too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women out here sleeping around with their husbands, okay, technically, which is their next door neighbor, or it could be a sister within their nation of people, man. All right, so a lot of our people are doing this, man, and they take pride in doing that too. Brothers out here actually taking pride on banging your wife, man. All right, now this is a sin according to the Most High, man. You're not supposed to be doing this, man. Now, the name of this chapter here in the book of Leviticus, which is 18, it's unlawful marriages and unlawful lusts. All right. Now, when it says unlawful, that means it's not pertaining to keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and which is transgression, also sin. All right. So you're not supposed to be doing this thing, man. As it says here again, verse 20. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her. Verse 21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire onto Molech, okay, which is an idol, okay, out of ancient Egypt. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God, which is your power. I am the Most High. All right, so a lot of our people, unfortunately, nowadays, that's in these fraternities and sororities and secret societies, they're sacrificing their kids, man, especially in the entertainment world. I mean, that's all that's going on now, just to keep their fortune and fame, man, and just to keep, all of the red flags and the yellow flags away so they can live however they want and do whatever they want. Okay, travel freely abroad the world. Okay, so you got a lot of people that's not only sacrificing their children, but their family members, man. Okay, a family member that they may have beef with, or a family member that they may not like. You know what I'm saying? They sacrifice it, man. And that's not only going on in the rich and famous world. That's going on low levels too, man. Low key, right? We got a lot of these people that's around here that's sold out. That's a part of these secret societies. That's sacrificing their folks, man. Okay, so now you got to take this in consideration. You see all of these murders that's going on. Okay, all of these kidnappings that's going on. All right, children dying. Okay, you have people's brothers dying, people's sisters dying, their mom, their dad, their cousins, what have you, right? So, and then on top of that, in the media, they like to label it as a drug related or gang related. Well, how can we be so sure of that? You know what I'm saying? How do we know that's not a low level sacrifice? This to gain riches. You know what I'm saying? The quick 20,000 or 30,000 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of wickedness that's going on in this world, man, that's not accounted for. You know what I mean? But the Most High sees everything, man. So what's done in the dark shall come to the light, always, especially according to their judgment, right? So this is what's going on, man. And this is why we have to be cautious and wary of this, because we don't know who's a part of these secret societies, man. It could be family members. It could be your friends, your so-called friends and associates. It could be your next door neighbors. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who's into what nowadays, man. But personally, me, if they're not keeping the law, statutes, the commandments of the Most High, then it ain't no telling what kind of wickedness you're into, right? And even if you claim to be keeping the law, statutes, the commandments of the Most High, I'm still going to prove you. All right. I ain't going to let you know how I'm going to prove you, but I'm going to prove you. Okay. I'm going to give you some tests to see if you're really about that life, right? So as it says here, man, and thou shalt not let any of thy seed, okay, which is your children, right, or anyone of your lineage, all right, your dad's lineage, pass through the fire to Molech. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. Okay, so don't be going around telling your people that God doesn't exist, okay, or God doesn't look like how you guys describe him in the Bible, okay. But it literally tells you the physical description of Hamashiach, even the Most High, if you really know the scriptures, okay. So you can't be going around talking about, oh, I don't believe in the God of the Bible. That book is written by the oppressors, right? But you still keeping all of the vain customs of the oppressors. You still worshiping their gods, right? You still keeping their customs. You still keeping Easter. You still keeping New Year's and the death of winter when it's coming up. within the next week or so, the true new year. All right. I mean, so come on, man. You got to give me a break here, right? I am the Lord your God. Verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination, right? So the Most High poured this right here, man. Okay. Now it is what it is. It sounds like just like how it's read, right? Verse 22 again from the top. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. Okay, is an abomination. All right, so I don't even need to really get into that. You know what I mean? That pretty much explains it itself. So we're going to go to the book of Sirach, chapter 16, which is in the book of Apocrypha, which is the hidden books of the Bible, by the way. And once again, this is your Rebbe Yahweh Yasharam from the sea souls of Israel, the rocks of offense, and also the ambassadors for righteousness. Once again, dropping you another video. So we're in the book of Sirach, chapter 16, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Okay, so that's what's going on within our nation of people too, man. A lot of these so-called parents out here love and desire in their unprofitable and sinful children. Okay, their children could be out here robbing, selling drugs, okay, sleeping with someone else's girlfriend, all right, doing all of these sinful acts, man, disobeying their elders, okay, hating their own people without cause, all right, causing all sorts of mischief and enmity amongst their own people, man, all right, within the neighborhood, okay, and you got parents that's actually proud of these things, right, man? But what the Most High says, desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons. Verse 2. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of the Most High be upon them. So that's when you're supposed to be rejoicing in your children, man, when they have the fear of the Most High in them, man, especially if they're of age, right? Verse 3. Trust not thou in their life, neither respect their multitude. For one that is just, okay, the one that's keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High and exercising righteous judgment, right? For one that is just is better than a thousand of unprofitable children, all right? And better it is to die without children than to have them that are ungodly, all right? So the Most High is saying it's better for you not even to have children rather than to have a whole bunch of ungodly, unprofitable, sinful children causing all kinds of havoc in the neighborhood, man, right? Let's go to chapter 12 in the book of Sirach. And I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Let's jump down to verse 4. Give to the godly man and help not the sinner. Okay, so this is who the Most High is telling you to give your charity and your alms to, man. Give to the ones who you know that's serving the Most High God of the Bible, man. Give to the ones who you know that's living righteously, keeping law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability. All right, that's who you're supposed to give your charity and your alms to, man. Not to a sinner. All right, not to a one that you know that's going to buy drugs with it, that's going to buy some GMO weed. All right. A lot of these brothers out here think that they're getting authentic weed, man. They're not getting authentic weed. They're getting that GMO K2 crap. All right. Don't give to the one that's going to go to the liquor store, the ABC, or the wines and spirits and buy out the bar. All right. Don't give to somebody who is going to pay for a hotel room to creep with another man's wife. Okay. Don't go to someone who is going to buy some more bullets for that gun to go rob a bank or go rob a gas station or something. or convenience store. All right. This is why the Most High says this, man. Verse 4 again in the book of Sirach, chapter 12. Give to the godly man and help not the sinner. Now, this includes your children too. Now, if your children who's of age is involved in all of that stuff I've just mentioned, man, don't help the sinner, man. Because just like it says in the book of Numbers and Leviticus and Deuteronomy, if your kid is 20 years and up, they're supposed to be serving the Most High. All right. So if they're living a life full of sin, you're not supposed to be helping those children, man. Now, you got some people, they're going to take offense to that and say, oh, well, that's my child. That's my child. I got to look out for them. I got to do for them. I got to help them when they're in need. Okay, but they're in sin also. So they may be complaining to you that they need this and that and third and whoop de whoop whoop for that. But they're going to take your money and spend it on sinful things, man. That's going to further their sin. Okay, they're going to go get that weed. They're going to go get probably coke, smack, the white lady, right? They're going to go buy some more drugs. They're going to go re-up so they can destroy the hood by selling drugs all over the neighborhood, right? So you can't guarantee what a sinner is going to do, man. Okay? Verse 4 again. Give to the godly man, all right, or woman, and help not the sinner. All right? So you can see this for yourself, man. This is in the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 4, man. All right? Verse 5. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and give it not to him or her, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good that thou have done unto him. So just like I said, you're going to receive twice the evil, man. Right? Verse 6. For the Most High hateth sinners. Okay, so that goes for all of you religious churchgoers that love to say, oh, God, he loves the sinner, but he hates the sin. All right, but it don't say that in the scriptures, man. Where in the Bible does it literally states that God loves the sinner but hate the sin? All right. Now, just because, Christ himself was sent to sinners to get them to repent, which is ultimately the whole nation of Israel, that doesn't mean that he loved the sinners and loved them in their sin. Like Christ, he didn't love a man that was sleeping around with another man's wife. He didn't love a man that didn't have the fruits of the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Who hated his own brother and sister without cause just because they was envious or jealous of them. You know what I'm saying? He didn't love murderers, Sabbath breakers, all right, people who ate pork, shellfish, defiled the dietary law, didn't keep the high holy day. All right. Christ didn't love sinners, man. All right. And that's what's going on with our people today. They're defiling the dietary law, defiling the Sabbath, not keeping the high holy days, not keeping the new moon, all right, not acknowledging themselves as Israelites according to the biblical scripture because they don't want to keep the laws, all right. They want to live their life full of sin, and then on top of that, practice witchcraft, serve other gods, entice all of our people that the laws are done away with. We can live however we want. We can do whatever we want. We can eat whatever we want. We're not going to be punished for it. We're in for everlasting grace, right? God in Christ don't love those kind of people, man. According to the biblical scripture, as it says here, verse 6 again in the book of Sirach, chapter 12. For the Most High, which is the Most High God power, right? The creator of all things, hateth sinners, and he will repay vengeance upon the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Verse 7. Give unto the good and help not the sinner. All right, so that's another reiteration there, man. The Most High don't want us helping sinners, man. All right, I think that's plain. Let's go to chapter 40, still in the book of Sirach. And I'm going to jump down to verse 15. And it reads, the children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, but are as unclean roots upon a hard rock. Verse 16. The weed growing upon every water and bank of a river shall be pulled up before all grass. Okay, so that's what's going on, man. This is what Hamashiach is going to do. He's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. And in this sense right here, you're considered weed, all right, if you're an ungodly child. Okay. Verse 15 again from the top, the children of the ungodly shall not bring forth many branches, meaning you're going to be cut off, and the Most High is going to see to it that you're not going to have much branches. Now, this could be speaking of you're not going to have any children, or you're not going to bring forth fruit, which is righteous fruit. You're not going to be bringing forth righteous branches according to the righteous root, man, right? But are as unclean roots upon a hard rock. Okay, now just like the parable of the seed sower, when the roots, they started to grow upon the hard rock, they didn't have stable ground, and when the strong winds came, they was blown away. Okay, so this is what this is referring to here. You know, you're like a unclean weed, man, an unclean root upon a hard rock, man, right? In continuation, let's jump down to verse 19. Children and the building of a city continueth a man's name, but the blameless wife is counted above them all. Okay, so if you have a blameless wife, which is a humbled wife, a so-called Titus 2 and Proverbs 31 wife, man, right, as it says here, but the blameless wife is counted above them all. So if you have a righteous wife, man, it's better than having a bunch of ungodly, unprofitable children, man. Okay? Let's go to chapter 41, still in the book of Sirach. Okay, so once again, we're still in the book of Sirach, chapter 41, and I'm going to start at verse 4, and it reads, And why art thou against the pleasures of the Most High? There is no inquisition in the grave, whether thou hast lived 10 or 100 or 1,000 years. Okay, so this is what the Most High is asking all of the sinners of our nation of people, man, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent, man, which is of the 12 tribes of Israel. If you're living a life full of sin and you take no pleasure whatsoever in keeping the laws, statutes, the commandments of the Most High, man, this is what he's asking you. Once again, in the book of Sirach, chapter 41, verse 4 from the top. And why art thou against the pleasures of the Most High? Okay, what's the pleasures of the Most High? Keeping his ways, man, keeping his ordinances, right? There is no inquisition in the grave. Okay, so when you die, just as in the book of Ecclesiastes, man, once you die, that's it. Your love is gone, your hate is gone, your thoughts are gone, your wants, your desires, okay? Repentance is gone, all right? Whether thou hast lived 10, okay, even if you're only 10 years old, man, or 100 if you lived 100 years, or 1,000, okay? So back in the ancient time, our people was living 1,000 years, man. Now, that's not to say according to 1,000 years that's known as 1,000 today, you know, because of course, you know, the oppressors, they changed the way times is. All right. So, of course, 1,000 years will be considered different back then than it is now, right? Verse 5. The children of sinners are abominable. Okay. So the Most High said the children of sinners. So if your parents are in sin, all right, worshiping Allah, the Kaaba stone in Mecca, Muhammad, all right, that's not even of Israel, all right, they're into churchianity, worshiping the image of the beast, Roman Catholicism, worshiping Virgin Mary, all right, secret societies, fraternities, sororities, witchcraft, okay, Hinduism, Buddhism, all right? This is what the Most High says, man. The children of sinners are an abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. Okay, so if you're dwelling among other ungodly people, you're abominable to the Most High, man, right? Verse 6, the inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their potestry shall have a perpetual reapproach. Okay, so that's what went on also with King Solomon's children. All right. So when King Solomon, of course, he was blessed by the Most High because of King David. You know, King David repented and turned to righteousness and started keeping the law, statutes. The Most High blessed Solomon for that, for the works of David. But Solomon committed sin not because he had multiple wives, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our people, especially the women who claim to be of the faith and love the scriptures, they like to say that having multiple wives is a sin. But there's nowhere in the scripture that says having multiple wives is a sin. Now, according to Paul's letters, epistles, it says if you want to be a blameless minister, okay, you're supposed to stick with one wife. But that wasn't by commandment, that was by suggestion. All right. That's to remain blameless to the people, because you still had a lot of people who like to cast unrighteous blame, just as today. Okay. So that's not to say that having multiple wives is sin, but King Solomon sinned because he dated, or married, I should say, or made unions with heathen women and started worshiping their gods and building temples made by hands to their gods. Okay. That's how King Solomon sinned. All right. It wasn't because he had multiple wives. Okay. But what it says here, oh, like I was saying before, so that's how the children of King Solomon, the temple, well, not the temple, but the kingdom was rent in two and taken away from King Solomon's children. Okay. And the children of Israel went into captivity after that because of King Solomon's sin. All right. Now you can't get that confused with Job or Job's sin. Job didn't sin. It was his children that sinned. And how did Job's children sin? They started keeping the custom of the heathen by keeping their birthday. Okay, so the Most High destroyed them all by having a big tornado, which is called a whirlwind in the Bible, come and destroy the house and them in it. All right, so that's how Job's children was destroyed, because they sinned, and Job was being punished because of that. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. Right? So it wasn't because of Job's sin, it was because of his children's sin. Right? And that's when Satan inquired to the Most High for Job. Okay? Because within his camp, they were sin, which is his children. So Job took the punishment of that, and his children took the ultimate punishment. Right? Just to clear that up. Right? So, verse 6 again from the top, the inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, but the posterity shall have a perpetual reapproach. Now, if you look up the definition of reapproach, in which our people are suffering today, this is constant ridicule, mockery, oppression, suppression, all right, exploitation, you name it, right? So that's reapproach. Verse 7, the children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reapproached for his sake. Okay, so just like I was saying, just like King Solomon's children. All right. Verse 8. Woe be unto you, ungodly men. Woe is destruction, right? Which have forsaken the what? The law, which is the law, statutes, commandments of the most high power. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. All right. So if you increase, it's not going to be to the blessings of the Most High. It's going to be to the blessings of Hashatan. Okay. The devil and the deceivers of the world. They're going to give you the blessings and make you think that you're getting blessings from the Most High, but it's their blessings, and it comes with stipulations. All right. You're going to have to do ungodly things for those so-called blessings. All right. Just like the rich and famous within our nation of people, right? They have to do ungodly rituals and sacrifices, okay, for those so-called blessings that they're receiving, for the so-called the powers that shouldn't be, and the higher ups, right? The puppet masters, so to speak. Okay. Verse 9. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. All right. And if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. Verse 10. All that are of the earth shall turn to earth again. So the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction. All right. So the Most High is letting us all know that we're all from the earth, man. We're all made from dust. Okay. Let's go to Sirach chapter 1. Try to speed this up a little bit here. Okay, so once again, we're in the book of Sirach, chapter 1, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, All wisdom come from the Most High power, and is with him forever. Verse 2, Who can number the sand of the sea, and the drops of rain in the days of eternity? Okay, so the Most High have all power, man. And also this, as it says in the scriptures, the children of Israel are like the sand of the sea. You know what I'm saying? And we're like the stars of heaven. And right here, you could be considered as the drops of rain, which is many. All right. So we're all of the earth, man. Right. Let's go to the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2. So this is what this video is all about, man. You know, just like I said, it's a spinoff of the video that I've previously done a while back, considering raising your children in the Most High's righteousness. And also the title of this video here, at what age are your children held accountable to serving the Most High? All right. They can't live under your grace all the time. They can't live under your grace all of their life, man. Once they come of age, just like in this system here, you're responsible for your actions, man. Right? So you're going to be responsible for serving the Most High too, man. All right. It's not a game. All right. So we're in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 6. And it reads, The Most High killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Okay, so this is another reiteration that the Most High does all things. He's the grand orchestrator of all things, man. Right? Verse 7. The Most High maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. Okay, so just because you must have came into a little windfall of money or whatever, you know, maybe an insurance policy, or you hit the lotto, or maybe you stumbled across a bag of cash or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's all according to the Most High's will, man. Right? It's not according to your own might and will and wit. Right? Verse 8. He raiseth up the poor out of dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. Meaning you're going to be glorified amongst the congregation, amongst all people, right? For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, which is the Most High, and he have set the world upon them. Okay, now that's for those who's well seasoned. You know what I'm saying? You know, just like it's written here. Okay, there's only certain things that you can set upon pillars. All right. Now I say this to say this: you can't really sit a ball or a sphere on a pillar, man. Right? So as it says here, right, for the pillars of the earth are the Most High's, and he have set the world upon them. Okay, the whole earth, right? Verse 9. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked one shall be silent in darkness. Okay, now this doesn't mean literal darkness. This is spiritual darkness. All right, this is mental darkness, meaning they're not going to know a damn thing. All right, when all of the calamities are coming upon the earth, all of the judgments. All right, you got the so-called solution being forced. All right, the so-called contagious virus going around. All right, with all of these different variants. Now, the first solutions that they're talking about, oh, well, these are not strong enough anymore. You know, it's not safe and effective, so to speak, towards these new variants that's coming out. So now we have two more solutions coming out for you that you're going to have to take. And only these two is safe and effective for the so-called variant that most of the people are catching nowadays, right? So with the Most High, the saints, which is the hopeful one third, the hopeful elect, the ones that's keeping the law, statutes, the commandments of the Most High, and who's given the wisdom, okay, to avoid these calamities, all right, he's going to keep our feet, man. He's going to direct our paths, all right. He's not going to put the spirit on his commandment keepers, man, to fall for taking this so-called solution, right, or believing in that other situation that's going on, right? Verse 9 again from the top. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, gross darkness, right? Even according to the book of Second Thessalonians, right? For by the strength shall no man prevail. So by your own strength and your own might, okay, your own guns, all right, your coalitions, right, with all of your guns, all of the people bearing guns talking about they're going to go to war with Esau. Do you really think that you can defeat Esau, man? Right? You got all of these congregations forming together with all of these guns, right? Thinking that they're going to take Esau out with his own blessing. Like, seriously, man, get real. You can't even defeat the local police department, right? Let alone a secret militia they may have hidden off somewhere. All they got to do is make one phone call, and believe you me, you got a lot of these Edomites out here. They're ready and willing and able to kill a lot of our people when they get that phone call, man. Sleeper cells, as they call it, right? They waiting on the side. They waiting for you guys to get out there, which is so-called coalitions with all of your guns or whatever. You know, half of them not even properly trained. You know, but just because you have a gun with a few bullets, you think that you can go to war and defeat the whole entire country, man. And you can't even defeat the local militia or the police department, right? So a lot of our people have to think, man. We can't fight them with their own blessing, man. All right. But our blessing is the knowledge of these scriptures, man, which is spiritual. All right. The spiritual blessing is the highest blessing of them all, man. Those bullets run out. And then what you going to do with those bullets run out? Right. You better know jujitsu. You better be a professional boxer. You better know some kind of fight, because that gun is going to be useless. Right. But as it says here, man, he will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. Verse 10. The adversaries of the Most High shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Most High power shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. All right. So that horn, of course, is going to be King Christ when he returns to redeem his people, man, during the second coming, right? So let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7. Okay, so once again, we're in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 7. And I'm going to go down to verse 16. And it reads, Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Okay, so this is the Most High through the prophet Jeremiah letting Israel know, don't pray for the sinners, man. Okay, now in religious churchianity and Roman Catholicism and all the denominations of so-called Christianity, they tell you to pray for everyone. Oh, pray for Miss Betty down the street. Pray for John down the street. Or pray for Kevin around the corner. You know, pray for Miss Mary's sons. You know, they're in the hospital. You know, they got into an accident. But who's to say that they wasn't living in sin, man? Okay? Who's to say that someone's making righteous judgment to pray for them? And that could have been a judgment of the Most High. Just like I read in the book of 1 Samuel, okay? And in the book of Deuteronomy. All right, the Most High says, I killeth and I maketh alive, I wound and I heal. I, the Lord, do all of these things. And also it says it in the book of Isaiah. Okay, so the Most High is sending these judgments forth, man. Okay, so, and also just like the book of Sirach said, you're not supposed to be praying for the sinners, man. You're not supposed to be helping the sinners. Okay, so why should you pray for someone if they're not living for God, man? If they're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Not having faith in Hamashiach, right? So this is where a lot of our people go wrong. They make the incorrect judgments, man. Okay? But as it says here again, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, Salakia, chapter 7, verse 16, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me. Okay, who's the me? That's the Most High, right? For I will not hear thee. Okay, so if you're praying for the sinner, the Most High is not going to hear you, man. All right. Let's go to chapter 11, still in the book of Jeremiah, and I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to start at verse 15. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start at 14. And it reads, which is another reiteration, right? Therefore, pray thou not for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. For I will not hear them in thy time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Okay? So the Most High is being clear, man. For their trouble, I'm not going to hear your prayers for them to you. All right? So you're not supposed to be praying for the sinner, man, when they get judged. Okay? When that sinner get judged for sleeping with that other man's wife. If that sinner get judged for breaking the dietary law, eating pork, eating shellfish, now they're getting food poisoning, okay? They're getting trichinosis or trichinosis, all right? They're getting the worms in the guts, so to speak, in the intestines, all right? They have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, hypertension, right? Having strokes and heart attacks from eating all of that defiled food, man, all right? Now, it goes a little bit further than just not eating pork and shellfish. There's also other foods out there that have the byproducts of pork and shellfish in it too, man, or certain unclean bugs, right? I did a video concerning those too, man, a while back, like 2 years back, right? There's a lot of hidden pork and hidden shellfish in these foods, man, and abominable dyes, man, okay? Not dyes that's from natural fruits and vegetables, man. You have dyes from like unclean bugs, okay, that's being put in these foods, man, these drinks that all of these children are drinking nowadays, man, that the parents are giving these kids. And they're not aware of that because they're not doing their due diligence searching these things out. And the reason why is because they're not keeping the dietary laws, because they're not aware that the law, statutes, the commandments are still here to stay, man. But of course, according to churchianity, religious churchianity, they tell our people that the laws are done away with, man. So our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, man, as it says in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, man. Right? So our people have to do the due diligence and search these things out, man, if they want to live, right? But this is what the Most High says once again, man, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 14. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Verse 15. What hath my beloved to do in my house, seeing she hath wrought lewdness? Okay, look up the definition of lewdness. With many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee. Meaning you're no longer holy if you're living a life full of sin, man. Okay, so the Most High is saying, what have my beloved, which is the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. The Most High is asking, what have his beloved to do with me? Seeing that you wrought lewdness in my house, and the holy flesh is passed away from you, meaning that you've joined yourself to the other nations, man. You're no longer holy. You're just like them. You're keeping Easter. You're keeping Sunday worship. You're defiling the Sabbath, defiling the dietary law, not keeping the high holy days, telling your own people that the Most High's laws are done away with. You're hating your own brethren and sister in thy heart, which is your mind, without cause, because you envy and jealous of them, right? So you're bringing lewdness into the Most High's house, man, when you're in sin, okay? And just as the point of this video, this goes for all of the children that's of age, okay? So this is when you have to start following the Most High and keeping his laws, statutes, commandments, man. You don't have to follow your parents who still live in a life full of sin, man, all right? There's going to come a time where you're going to have to do your own thing. You're going to have to cry out to the Most High to help you in your time of calamity and trial and tribulation. But if you're not truly serving the Most High, man, how he's going to hear you? Even if someone was to lift up a prayer for you, as it says here in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, the Most High is not going to hear them for you because you're living a life full of sin. All right? So when you come of age, man, just like I was saying, this is the title of this video, man. When you come of age, according to the Bible, when you're 20 years old and up, or according to this society, when you're 18 and 21 is up, man, you got to make that decision. Are you going to serve the Most High? Or are you going to follow your sinful father and mother or the other nations and serve other gods, man, and get judged for it by the Most High? All right? So that's something to ponder, man. So I'm going to end that there. You know, hopefully that this video was edifying. Hopefully that it was enjoyable. And hopefully that is very informative to all of the people within our nation of people who have children that's of age, okay? And maybe that you would entice them to keep the ways of the Most High if they want to survive what's going on nowadays, man. And in general, right? So once again, this is your brother Yahweh Yasserah from the Sea Souls of Israel, the Rocks of Offense, and also the Ambassadors for Righteousness, dropping you another video. Once again, love is love. Hopefully everyone have a lovely evening. Until the next time, I say, Shalom.